Oh, son of a gun. Alrighty, we are live for the first Xfinity playoff race in the North America eRacing League. As tonight I have with me Joe. You already heard. How you doing, Joe?
What's up, man? Pretty good.
You ready to see how the action unfolds this evening? Also joining us, I have Shadow.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
How you doing, Shadow? So Richmond tonight, guys. 3/4 mile. Rumor has it these cars are going to get super loose in the long run. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
Well, you go ahead, Joe.
Well, I was gonna say, I think you're gonna see people make mistakes with the apron. That's number one. Number two, I think you got to decide if you want a short run car or a long run car, man. That's gonna make the difference here.
I agree, Joe. I agree with this thing. Knowing the Xfinity Series and how they've raced this year, if they can we join? I think if knowing the Xfinity Series, it might come down to a late race restart. So that could play interesting if people come down and try to put a short run setup on it. And can anybody beat Max Boost is the question.
I think it's manageable, but I mean, it's gonna take a really good setup to do it, it's doable.
It is doable. He's not undefeated.
Anything can happen on any given week in today's week. See what happens. It's a fun one.
So to lay out the playoff settings for you, or standing, excuse me. Max Boost is 75 points above the cut line. Joe, you said earlier, how many points does he need to lock himself in the next round?
He'll need a 48 points for tonight to make sure he actually is good to go.
Alrighty then. So Big Jim is 17 points and above the cut line in second. Lights Out is third, 15 points above the cut line. Penn is fourth, coming off his upset win at Loudon, 10 points above the cut line. Jagboy also 10 above the cut line. Steve-O is the cut line at 2 up. Swamp 2 down. NR Lewis is 2 down. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds tonight. So, Joe, question: how aggressive would you be for stage points? Are you going to try to just ride it out here, get a set up on the car, or what?
I'm not going for stage points, man. Anything to get a lead on this thing, because that next race, obviously at Talladega, and it's the more points you have from Richmond, man, I think the better off you're gonna be. That lead in Talladega to help you out.
Shadow, do you agree?
Absolutely. Wild card race. You just don't know what's going to happen there. So you got to go into this right, with a race, thinking consistency, stage points, and have some action.
Speaking of Talladega, that might actually be, you said a wild card, that might actually be good for drivers who haven't had a win this year, like Swamp and R. Lewis, Steve-O. Those guys who haven't won a race, that might be their first opportunity to steal a win and get into the next round.
Yeah, for sure. And they're looking forward to that race already. They just want to go through here, have a clean night, maybe get a top five, and then go into Talladega kicking ass.
As we wait to get word that we can join.
Hey, pause it.
He paused again.
Yeah, he paused. Yeah, that's why. That's what he got.
Of course, I had a barbecue sandwich before this, so indigestion is going to be at an all-time high.
We're good to go.
As we are hopping in here. Big Jim with the pole.
Big Jim, Paul. Funny.
We good to join?
We're good.
On green.
I am waiting for drivers. Oh, going green. All right, so we have Big Jim on the pole. Outside is Mons. Steve-O, who's dropping in the back already? Steve-O. It looks like Max Boost is P4s. They're going to head down into 1. Let's see if these guys be a little bit conservative. It looks like everybody's going to make it through there pretty good. Let's see if Big Jim can... Ooh, Mons almost into the outside retaining wall there. They're going to be side-by-side drag racing down the back. Mons is going to wash up here. Steve-O's going to try to go 3 wide for the lead here.
Oh, J-Mon on the wall there a little bit. Going to
Yeah.
drop back to, looks like 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like Steve-O. Look at Steve-O trying to make an early play for the lead here as he's side-by-side with Big Jim down the back. How hard is it, guys, to run side-by-side coming off of turn 2, though? I know it gets pretty tight.
Oh, man. Yeah, extremely tight, and then that exit's a little loose if you keep it to the wheel just to make sure you stay off the wall there, man.
Shadow, would you
Yeah,
rather
watch out.
be... Oh, Steve-O washes up in a little bit. Max Boost is going to try to make it 3 wide. He does not. Thinks better of it. Shadow, would you rather be the guy on the outside or the guy on the inside coming off of turn 2?
That's a hard question. Just look out. My thing is just look out on the long run. These cars are gonna be really loose. It's gonna be hard running side by side, especially off that turn 2 corner. But go ahead.
Go ahead. Steve-O takes the lead away from Big Jim. Let's see if Big Jim rides here for a minute with Max Boost on his bumper.
I think
So-
it's a smart move if he continues just to ride back. Let Steve-O run the car hard and just kind of conserve a little bit.
Big Jim's going to go look back underneath Steve-O here heading into 1.
I think
Mac-
that doesn't play well in their hand, man. I think Max is just kind of taking it easy, and then once their tires wear out, he'll just slip right on by, man.
Yeah, you know how Max is. Max is the ultra-conservative driver, but he's still fast while he does it, which makes it even more impressive as they're side-by-side for the lead. Big Jim is going to clear Steve-O barely as they 1, 2, 3 throw a blanket over him. A little bit of a gap back to, I believe that's Jag Boy. Yep.
Yeah, Jack boy.
Uh-huh.
And right
And
behind him is
NARL
Lewis, and he's getting ready to make a move here. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it work.
Oh, look, Jag Boy has a
And-
new paint scheme.
Oh, Steve-O watches up. Here comes Max.
Here comes
underneath.
Max Boost.
So that's the second time we've seen Steve-O wash up, maybe overdriving the car a little bit too early, as he's going to wash up again. So it's going to allow Jagboy to try to close in a little bit. So Big Jim, Max Boost, Steve-O, Jagboy, and NR Lewis, your top 5 as it sits. All playoff drivers.
And Swamp is, don't look now, but a little bit back there in 6th place. But he did tell me before he thinks he has a car that can make it on the long run, but only time will tell, man.
I went to 3 wide. Oh, it's 3 wide back there between Gar. Gar's on the outside. I can't tell. I think it's Penn on the inside. And Dalton on the bottom. Yeah, Dalton on the bottom. So Mons, who got in the fence early, he's fell back to 7, 3 wide again. It's, oh my land, Dalton.
Oh,
Yeah, it was close. It was Dalton. Yeah, Dalton, Gar. They had a Gar sandwich. As they head back in the 1 here. And it looks like Penn's going to try to get back underneath Gar. Gar said he had a pretty fast race car. Doesn't look like it early as he rides back and looks like the 9th position.
and actually the car that you're referring to, the number 2 car, that's actually Lights Out, who's also in the playoffs.
Lights
man.
Out, yeah.
Trying to catch up there to 5th. I don't know anything. He hasn't really said how his car is here, but right now it looks like the longer the run, the better it looks like right now.
Dalton is in the 9. Thank you very much. Them junior motorsports car. Or no, 2's an RCR car. All right, moving on. It's the off season, guys. It's been a long off season. So trying to filter back to the lead here. Well, Steve-O's kind of riding conservatively here in third. Impressive run for Steve-O here early. As Big Jim continues to hold off Max Boost as we're single file to about, I think, pretty much the whole field. Oh, Gar got in the fence. I don't know if he
This
got
gap
loose.
between 1 and 2 has stayed the same ever since Max Boost got around Steve-O. So maybe thinking Max just trying to ride, get in a groove here, maybe make a charge toward the stage end.
Possibly, and I've noticed that Jim's kind of running on more of the stay at the bottom near the apron. And Max, if you look at him when he's entering 1 and 2, it's kind of a diamond a little bit. Not too much, but enter about like mid, and then all of a sudden he'll exit a little bit lower.
Now Jim just did the same thing. He kind of entered a lane higher. Max really hugged the yellow line. He actually gained on him through there.
Oh, Jim.
Oh, Jim's
Jim.
going to overdrive it.
Oh, he did not get trapped on pit road. That was close. And Max Boost checked up way up. That brings Steve-O back into the picture. But to your point, guys, it looked like Jim tried to run that line into 1 to kind of take the line away from Boost. And it looks like
Jackboy's right to the bumper of Steve-O.
And Lewis is coming with him, so.
That's what it does. When you have somebody that you know can consistently run fast, it kind of puts a little thought in your head that maybe I should try what he's doing. And sometimes it just doesn't work, man. And that little lead that he had now is trimmed greatly.
You throw a blanket over the top 5. This is pretty good racing here early, guys. As Big Jim's going to continue to just try to take the line away as Boost is being patient with him here. How long do you, if you're Max Boost, how long are you patient with Jim here? Or you kind of let him burn up his stuff?
You're waiting. Just wait on him.
Yep. Wait for him to make a big mistake and just capitalize, make a smooth pass.
As they continue to run. Ooh,
Lewis going inside of Jagboy.
Well, as he is, it looks like he's not going to make the move into the corner. Ooh, Jagboy cooks it into 3 there. That's going to give
Jim
NARL
got a
Lewis.
little piece of the apron on my screen. Didn't do too much, but lifted the car just a bit. Max isn't taking advantage of those slip-ups, so it does make me think that he's really not trying to use up anything right now.
As he continues to pace Big Jim right on that bumper. So this has got to be tough for Big Jim. The car's going to start getting looser on you here. You're trying to hold off probably the best in the series so far to this point. And he's right there, man. Every time you look up, he's right there.
To your point, Williams, like you said, these cars, this is why where the car's going to start getting really loose. So look out for a couple of big moments here.
Did you seen Steve-O while you were saying that have one behind Max Boost? As it looks like Steve-O's really, I don't know if he's doing it intentionally or by plan or whatever, but he's really running that second groove. Looks like he's been doing it since the drop of the green flag. Here he goes again to the second groove. He's going to open up the bottom for Jagboy. Jagboy's going to get underneath of him here.
Max Boost in front of him.
Looks like he's probably going to clear him here, if not probably the next corner.
Yeah, he should get the drive off into 1 here. Oh! As he does, he barely still side by Steve-O's getting a really good run into that corner. Jagboy's going to clear him here.
If I'm Steve-O right now, I know I want those points really bad, but 6th place is all the way at least 2 seconds back. Right now, you're just battling whoever's in front of you and around you, so no need to panic or anything. Just kind of, keep consistency around who you're with right now.
How many laps again? We got a stream up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me about 10 seconds. I'll have you lap time here.
All right, it's Big Jim continues to lead Max Boost. It's like Max Boost backed off a little bit there, kind of maybe letting stuff cool down a little bit. Going to go right back at him here. Just real patient, letting the car roll through the center.
We are at 16 to go as well.
16 to go. Stage 1. Ooh, big moment for Jagboy down the back straightaway there. It's NARL. Jagboy gets the apron. That's going to allow NARL Lewis by him. That's really going to hold up Steve-O. Steve-O now Swamp. Loves seeing this in 6th. He wants a stage point. Being in the points battle, Jagboy lets Steve-O go, apparently. Maybe fighting a little bit too loose at this juncture. So with all these points, if you're Max Boost, do you maybe push, just kind of ride and finish second in the stage, or you're not going to let your competitor win the stage, right?
I don't think so. I mean, if the opportunity comes, he'll go and make the pass on Big Jim. He's definitely not going to force anything, though. He knows he doesn't have to. He's not that type of driver either, so he's just going to wait for a mistake, most likely hear from Jim. If the door opens up, he'll take it.
The top two have actually pulled away from the field pretty significantly. Oh, there goes Max.
Oh,
He's
there
going
you
to
go.
look under Big Jim in a 1. Let's see how hard Jim races him. Oh, they make a little contact. It's going to push Jim up the hill, give Max boost to the lead.
Power move.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I'm Jim right now, there's oh wait,
There
oh, he
goes
might
Jim.
come back
Jim's
a
going
little
to come
bit.
back. Jim's going to come back. He's
Oh,
going to
no.
cook it
Oh,
in
he
there.
entered it too
Nope.
low.
And
That's
that's
all
going to
right.
give Max boost. But Big Jim's sitting 17 points above the cut line. That's going to be a good stage for him if he can just ride there and finish second.
There's 13 laps to go.
As we turn our attention to Jag Boy, see if he can hold off Swamp. Swamp, to your point earlier, Joe, looks like he does have a better long run car. He's actually closed the gap, it looks like, to the 5th and the final stage point.
And I'm not sure, like I said, with them being around there, you know, him, Steve-O, and Lewis, I don't know if they were working their equipment a little bit too hard, but the more they kept battling with each other, the more it allowed 6th place to catch up to them. So it'd be interesting to see if they'll catch him here before the stage 1 finishes out.
So Steve-O's going to
laps to
push a
go.
little high there. 10 to go. As Jag Boy. So as it sits, we have Max Boost, Big Jim, NARL Lewis has made his way up to 3rd, Steve-O 4th, Jag Boy 5th. Swamp is closing the gap to Jag Boy, guys. But he might not be enough time. Jag Boy's really trying to be patient with Steve-O here. I haven't really seen none of these guys up front have a really big moment quite yet.
No, and if I'm Swamp, I know that 5th place is right in front of me, but, you know, if it gets to that point where it just doesn't look like it's going to happen, hey, you know, don't force yourself into a bad position where you're going to lose that 6th place spot right now.
Exactly. Set yourself up for stage 2. I'm actually impressed by Steve-O at his home racetrack. I'm surprised he hung up here as long as he has. Jag Boy's gonna get underneath of him there and gain the position. So now Steve-O moves to the 5th spot, which is still a stage point, which would help him out as he is on the cut line. And Swamp, the guy chasing him, is on the cut line as well.
Man. I go back to the battle that we had with the lead. I know Big Jim may have lost it there with Max, but, you know, being up front and kind of figuring out how your car is going to, you know, react once you get into a long run out front, and kind of learning a little bit when you're in traffic, even though it's only Max in front of him, it kind of will help you out, I think, later on in the race. But, you know, 4 points from the stage is definitely nothing to hang your head on either, man. That's great result right now,
ball
especially in
stick
the
around
playoffs.
the back straightaway. Ball
Yeah,
stick.
ball
was
sticks
looks
around.
like
He
it
just got
is.
hit by the 35 car as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Behind. No caution.
We're gonna stay green. Oh, back to your point though, Joe. As the leaders run up on the 35, put him a lap down. One thing I think we learned I think they get past him. Max Boost past him like 12, 13 laps to go. So Big Jim, if we have a late race restart with 35, 30 laps to go, Big Jim might be in a good spot to try to hold him off for that long.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like I said, man, just, you know, it's not an extremely long race, but it's enough time to figure out how your car is going to react in different scenarios. You know, hey, he's running up against Max. That's a pretty good tester to figure out how your car is running. So hopefully it pays out for him in the end, man.
Looking at ball stick here, he has 16 seconds of repair damage on pit road.
Oh, it's a tough break for ball stick. How many laps we got to go on the stage?
4, I think. Joe, can you confirm that?
Should be at 3 laps now.
3.
And once Max crosses the line, should be 2 to go.
So 2 to go in the stage. As Max Boost, the guy who has dominated all year, continues to lead. Would be a huge stage there for Big Jim.
It would have been, but you know what? If I'm going to lose to somebody right now
Boost
in
is
this
all right,
round,
yeah.
Boost is going to be the guy to lose to, just because he's essentially locked in. I mean,
Right.
he's got 3 races to get those points. I really, if I'm Jim in that position, you know, hey, look, you want your points, man, go for it. But
Yeah.
as long as I get a decent finish, I'm okay.
And to your point, I believe they're coming to the end of the stage here.
Hmm?
Yep. And to your point, really, you're not even racing Max Boost. You're racing that cut line, trying to get to Homestead and let the cards fall where they may. That will end the stage. So Max Boost is your stage 1 winner. as I've lost my pen. Second is Big Jim. Oh, I hate
Third
losing
place
my
is
pen.
Jag Boy.
Fourth place, I believe, is Steve-O.
Steve-O. Yep.
No, I know our Lewis. Where did our Lewis
Nope.
go?
Steve-O got 4th, and Lewis went down to 5th.
Oh, Lewis
Yep.
must have got super loose there at the end of that stage.
Alright. See if Jim can make a big adjustment here, and maybe one for positive adjustment, and see if he has something for Max here in stage 2.
I know it's early in the round, guys, but that's a huge, huge point for Steve-O as he gains a point on Swamp and NR Lewis.
Indeed. And I was going to ask Shadow, I mean, I'm going to ask your opinion on this one. If you're pitting right now, are you expecting to go for a short run, or are you thinking long run full, the rest of the way now?
If you're in big Jim Max boost situation, I think you go for a long run car. They already know that they're capable of being up here in the top 3, top 5. Go for that long run car, not make it loose. I think the long run car is the way to go here.
Way to go.
As Max Boost is going to take the lead off into 1 as we restart stage 2 here.
See what Jim has for him here in stage 2.
Oh, yeah, car spinner. I think that's Ballistic again in turn 3.
Oh, Ballistic's having a rough
Yep,
night.
he got hit from behind by Dalton, I believe.
Oh, man, yeah. There's a lot of anger in his voice. Just heard it on the stream, man.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's always fun hearing Ballistic get going. Such a young soul with a bright future. He gets angry. 3 wide back there as they head out of 4. Let me see what's going on back here if I can get to it. Did Gar lag out?
Yeah, he did.
As they settle that out. So right now as it sits, it looks like it's going to be Boost and Big Jim again, making a breakaway. Steve-O 3rd, NR Lewis 4th, Jagboy to 5th. Swamp holding strong in 6th as he has Mons on his tail. Looks like is that Pin behind them. This Pin's going to try to make a move under Mons here, and looks like Mons just gave it. Ooh, Mons gives him the bumper back to him. It's going to shove Pin up the racetrack, and Pin does a good job holding.
And Pin's going to give him back. Oh, wow.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, well, cooler heads prevail as Mons and Pin get into it there.
Man,
Okay.
like I said, that turn 2 making a move, man, especially with your car getting loose like that, it's really, really difficult to finish it off.
As Lights Out gives the bumper to Pin, so that's going to set it back up for...
Jim's going out there Boost for the lead.
All right, side by side as they're going to head off of turn 4. Looks like Big Jim should have the preferred line here. Impressed with Big Jim to this point. I believe this is his home racetrack as well, as they're going to head down into turn 1 side by side. Boost is going to, Boost going to get a huge drive off the corner, and he's going to clear Big Jim. Big Jim's going to drive it way back.
Jim's going to dive it right on in.
Stay off the apron, he does.
Yeah, side by side, what a battle for the lead here, guys. As Big Jim's going to get credit for leading that lap, even though we don't keep track of him. Down in the 1, Big Jim is going to try to clear him.
Just a little bit. Nothing that's going to cause anything bad there.
Big Jim is going to clear Boost. What a race for the lead. What a move by Jim. So that guy's late in the race, man. Big Jim might have something for Max Boost. Go ahead, Shadow.
Sorry, I was just saying that that gives him a vote of confidence for the rest of the way here. He makes a pass like that for the lead on Max Boost.
Absolutely. As NR Lewis is going to get in there, shove Steve-O way up the hill. NR Lewis is going to make the pass for 3rd. Jagboy's going to try to follow him through there. They're side by side down the back straightaway.
And Swamp's right there again with the top 5 right there in front of him.
Boost back on Jim for the lead.
If I'm Jim in this situation, I'm just thinking to myself, you know what, maybe I just lay back a little bit. Don't need a lead right now. I'm not going to get anything out of it, but just kind of wait for him.
Big Jim's going to go right back underneath of him. Oh, he's going to get in the apron. As it looks like Jagboy got in the NR Lewis. They're battling. Ooh, NR Lewis is going to push Jagboy down to the yellow line here. Wow.
Lewis is in the hornet's nest right now.
Pretty good racing here. NR Lewis is going to... Jagboy sends him up the hill. Looks like it kind of met in the middle there. Oh, he's going to get into him again. Oh, Steve-O's going to get caught in the crossfire here.
Oh, man. All playoff drives right here, man. That's
racing
what you love to
hard,
see, man.
They're racing hard. As Swamp's now going to join this battle with Lights Out on his rear bumper. And Swamp's one of the more the patient drivers in the series, so you know he probably won't push the issue here. He's just going to try to let these guys wrestle it out and then take advantage of whatever he can.
Oh, man, I don't know if you could do that now with Lights Out right behind him. obviously he loses that spot. That's another position that he's going to have to go and fight back later on. So I'm not sure if I'm taking a conservative approach right now, back in 7th. But hey, maybe it plays out for him, man.
Interesting battle between NR Lewis and Steve-O there. I mean, excuse me, NR Lewis and Jagboy. They're two playoff drivers getting into a wrestling match this early. The one thing with Penn and Mons is Mons isn't a playoff driver, so Penn, you kind of understand where he's coming from, roughing him up there. As Big Jim is hanging with Max Boost, guys.
Man, just impressed with him. I know I know Boost is intimidating to practically everybody in the Xfinity series, but Jim's taking on the challenge, man. Just going straight up with him.
Grabbing by the horns. It looks like Jagboy Lights Out's actually gotten around Swamp, and Jagboy's. Oh nope, Swamp's gonna. Ooh, Swamp gets into Lights Out there just a little bit, shows him up the hill.
Oh, just a little bit.
And that's going to be, Jagboy's actually pulled away from this battle, who was in the 5th position in the final playoff spot. So the top 5 finishers in Stage 1 are continuing to run top 5 here. It looks like Steve-O is trying to give NR Lewis all he can handle here. NR Lewis keeps chopping the line away from Steve-O, rightfully so. That's what you got to do here on a short track. And Steve-O's going to try to have the inside line. He's going to run it in there. They're side by side. He's
should clear him here if he keeps it straight.
Ooh, looks like he got a little loose there on the exit. He should get him here. Yep, drives it in there. NR Lewis going to try to close the door on Steve-O. Ooh, NR Lewis puts the bumper back to him. All right, guys. Pretty wild racing here. As now
Jagboy getting that run off of 2.
Now remember,
Lewis
Jagboy
tried to cut it off a little bit.
Remember, ooh, was up the irons, got
sideways, yeah.
Smoked the field. Now remember, Jagboy and NR Lewis just had that little bout in the back straightaway about 5 laps ago. Speaking of laps, can I get an update on how many laps to go at the line?
Yep, give me about half a lap and I'll tell you.
Thank you. Oh, NR Lewis gets in there. Jagboy's going to be able to clear him down into the corner. He's going to try to
look now, but Swamp is trying to make a move as well once he gets back up to him. The more that Lewis and Jagboy keep going against each other, the better it is for Swamp to get up there with them.
See, I hate to say it, guys, but short track, how long, especially with, if you're Jagboy and you know you're faster than Lewis and you got Swamp coming for a stage point, at what point do you say, all right, I've had enough of this, and kind of just move him up out of the way?
Man, I don't know. I'd give him a few laps, but I know it's really close with them. But man, I don't know. 5 laps at most, 15 to go as well on the stage.
Thank you, 15. Shadow.
Hey man, usually I wouldn't do that personally. Outside, if it was for the lead, maybe. But if it's not for the
Lewis
lead,
got loose there off of 4.
Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. But if you do decide to do it, just expect it back at some point later in the race.
But I think Lewis knows he has to stay in front of Jagboy to have a chance to get that extra point, because obviously he went from 3rd. He was running really up there in stage 1 and then dropped all the way down to 5th. So I don't know if he has the long run card that these other guys have, but the more points he can get right now, the better for his case.
These top 2 are checked out.
Yeah, they are. They are definitely the class of the field tonight, Shadow. Good observation as I'm doing some math. Okay. As Jagboy's going to look inside of NR Lewis. Looks like NR Lewis just gave it to him right there. As NR Lewis is going to give it up to him. Now here comes Swamp. Swamp trying to get a stage point. As it looks like NR Lewis is actually battling a pretty evil race car as we speak.
Yeah, he's overdriving. You tell he's overdriving it a little bit, man. But, I mean, if you're trying to protect that playoff point, because you're right there on the cutoff line, and it doesn't help that the guy you're chasing is 2 spots ahead of you right now.
Agreed. That's a good point as well, Joe, as we continue. We should be about 10 to go in the stage. As it looks like Jagboy's a pretty good long-run car as he's starting to run down Steve-O now. Top 2 is checked out. I don't think nothing's changed from them. Nope. Max Boost still leading Big Jim. Get back to
I don't know if Swamp's car is just like come alive a little bit, or the 3 cars that are ahead of him are starting to stall out. But he's trimmed that deficit, and obviously with Jagboy and Steve-O now racing side by side, it's going to help Swamp's case here to catch this playoff points.
All right, so here goes Jagboy. He's going to clear Steve-O into 1 easily. Oh, Steve-O drives it back down the outside. Jagboy will clear him. It's now looks like Steve-O's starting to struggle a little bit here. Swamp just lurking. Swamp just back there, or he's been riding in 6 pretty much the whole race. It seems like.
Man, it's frustrating. You know you need that top 5, man, but if your car just isn't there, you can't push too hard right now and cause yourself to have a poor finish in stage 3.
As they continue to battle here, Jagboy gets past Steve-O, and Jagboy can't even see the top 2 as they have pulled away from the field and checked out.
Oh, Steve-O, I think blocking Lewis here a little bit is going to help out Swamp tremendously. Lewis almost clips the wall there.
Oh, yep, Swamp's
7
going to
to
drive
go.
it in there. Here comes Swamp.
Yeah, 7 to go.
Swamp is going to clear him easily. It looks like NARL pushed up the hill. Now it puts Swamp in a stage point position, which will help him advance to the cut line. Now the question is, can he run down Steve-O's? We have 6 to go now, I believe. You just said 7.
Yeah.
6 to go at the line.
6 to go.
All right, so Swamp's got 6 laps to make up for his stage 1. No get not, which would be huge if he can pass Steve-O. That pretty much makes up for the points he missed in stage 1.
Keeps a tie with Lewis and gains a point on Steve, or not gains a point, but at least cuts that 2-point advantage that
right.
Steve-O just got again.
Exactly, but this would actually make him even with NR Lewis, which is below the cut line, so it really wouldn't matter as much. Every point matters. What am I talking about? It's the playoffs. As Swamp pushes it high, and here comes NR Lewis looking below him.
Oh, man.
Side by side.
Oh, man, I think Swamp
Big
just...
Jim almost just lost it off turn 2. That's going to cost him a
I
chance to
think
win
somebody
the stage.
lost it down the back straightaway.
Oh, well, Lewis just lost it a little bit off 4 there.
These guys are starting to battle even race cars. As Lewis, you can tell these guys are starting to push hard for these points. As now NR Lewis. And Swamp's going to get back to work here and try to run down Steve-O. At this point, guys, are you trying to even run down Steve-O, or are you just trying to keep Lewis behind you?
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm torn, man. The guy you're chasing is right in front of you.
Oh, Lewis lost it again.
I'm going for it, man. 3 laps. I see Lewis behind me struggling. I'm going for Steve-O.
Yeah, good point, Joe. I think seeing Lewis struggle in your mirror, as you see Swamp get a little loose there off of 2, I think seeing Lewis struggle in your mirror makes that decision a little bit easier.
But you can't
Lewis
be too
just
aggressive
crashed.
right now. Oh, no.
Lewis just crashed. Will that bring out a caution? Mons gets caught up in that.
2 to go.
Big crash off of 4.
This is the
it's-
last lap right here.
Oh, Swamp about lost it off of 2 there. Kept it straight, though.
As I think Boost is at the end of the stage.
Should be the end of the stage, crossing the line here right after.
All right. Well, Big Jim is on Max Boost's bumper.
Jim's right
All right,
there.
we have a battle. He's
What
going
a
to have
move.
Boost is going to block him into the 1. Boost is going to shove him up the hill.
Unbelievable.
They're going to go into 3.
Get him, Jim!
As Jim is going to
You
come
gotta
off
be
of turn
kidding
4
me.
and win the
Oh.
stage.
Woo!
Wow.
Wow,
What
good
an
shit.
ending to stage 2.
The lap traffic absolutely cost Max Boost. the stage.
Max
Wow.
Boost had to check up with all that crashing going on, and it allowed Big Jim to just catch right up. And then Max Boost threw an insane block in the 3. Jim wasn't having no parts of it. Shoved him up the hill and took stage 2. What a stage there. Can I get a top 5 for the stage finish, please?
Big Jim in first, Max Boost in second, Jagboy third, Steve-O fourth, and Swamp in fifth.
All right. So NR Lewis does it. So that's a pretty big point for Steve-O. Jagboy's going to get him 3 more points. That's a big 6 points for Big Jim. All right. Guys, wow.
Wow.
Man, I heard Shadow say that Big Jim kind of lost it there a little bit, eliminated the chance, and last lap
Then the
Jim
lap
comes right
traffic
back,
came
man.
into play, and it just cost Max Boost. He had Big Jim fell back to probably about a second and a half, maybe, or just a second. And lap traffic cost Max Boost there.
All right, so now stage 3, the longest stage of the night. So this is where strategy comes to it. You split that run in half. You try to stretch it. You try to get short pit. What you try to do here as we get ready to go green?
Man, if I'm Jim or Boost, I'm going full straight, make it all the way, man. No need to even worry about cutting it in half.
All right, it's Big Jim and Max Boost are going to have Swamp makes it way up to 3rd. I guess he didn't have a lot of damage there. There's no way you're not taking 4 tires. Boost is going to pull away. Swamp's going to look for 3rd as he's riding in 3rd. Wonder how patient he is with his whatever y'all call yourselves, teammate.
Calm down. Anyway,
Max.
yeah, no, it was good. Oh man, same story, man. I think Boost and Jim are just gonna eventually just pull away from the rest of the pack. And I don't know if Boost did anything to change his car after that, but
as we got a cluster back here as Charblazer makes his first appearance into the top 5 along with LL Penn. And looks like Steve-O's getting shuffled out here. I think that's Lights Out behind him. What the hell happened?
Swamp's actually keeping up right now with the
Charblazer's going to push the
2.
1. Charblazer pushed the 1 up there a little bit in the corner. I don't know if that's the best of ideas. We all know who Penn is. It looks like Charblazer's going to go up there and chop him. That's going to allow Steve-O to push him on the bottom. There's a cluster. It's Will Lewis. Lewis is going to push it 3 wide, I think.
Oh, Steve-O's going to hit Lewis there.
Oh, this is crazy. Oh, Mons drives Penn into the fence. That was a retaliation, it looked like, from earlier in the race.
Oh, wow.
So, as we continue, as Big Jim now tries to
continues to bump him right now. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked like it was intentional right there on my end. And Penn just wrecked himself.
Yeah, Penn wrecked himself there. All right, as we go back to the lead here. As Big Jim continues to try to stalk Max Boost. As Swamp continues to ride back at there.
Penn. Oh, and Penn just took out Mons.
Oh, no. Oh.
Got to have better sense than that, in my opinion. Because now you're with a damaged race car in the playoffs. You were 10 points above the cut line.
Man, wow.
I think Mons just quit.
That's gonna change a lot.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. So we have, after some drama, we got Max Boost and Big Jim, who probably ran 1 and 2 the whole race. Well, Steve-O led about 5 laps in the beginning. As they continue to race here, as I'm looking for... I got to figure out who the hell's running third. I know is Swamp. Who's fourth?
Yep.
Who's fourth?
Steve-O.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Fifth is Jagboy. Oh, no, Jagboy. All right. No, NR Lewis is fifth. NR Lewis is fifth. So right now we have Max Boost, Big Jim, Swamp Fox, Steve-O, and NR Lewis riding in your top 5. Jagboy fifth. No more stage points to be handed out. Now it's the finishing order.
Oh, God. So, just to add some comedy right now while during this race, Dangles fell asleep and
missed the race.
Wow.
Oh, in true Dangles fashion. Dangles, if you're watching, shout out. Pull the Swamp.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting pretty spaced out here as Max Boost has started. Do you think Max Boost maybe saved a little in the first 2 stages? Or maybe it's Big Jim kind of conserving a little bit here?
Man, I don't want to say he's conserving maybe, but I think Max may have had, I don't know, I'm sure if he had damage or not during that last run. Possibly could have been, but right now he's gotten a bigger lead than I would have expected in this last stage.
Yeah, it was closer in stage 2, that's for sure. I don't know if maybe he made an adjustment on pit road. It's made the car a little bit better, turn a little bit better. But we'll see what happens here the next 10-15 laps as we get into the long run.
Ooh, Swamp got the fence there a little bit off of 2. Swamp doing a good job here riding third as Steve-O begins to route him in.
If I'm Jim, I'm praying for a lap car.
Sure. After what happened in the last stage, that would be.
Yeah. Man.
Continue to ride here. Jagboy's going to look under NR Lewis for the fifth position. As Jagboy's going to get it pretty easily. Looks like Lights Out's going to try to follow him through here. I tell you, NR Lewis and Jagboy, they got magnets attached to their race cars. They've been into each other a couple times tonight. As Steve-O's beginning to run down Swamp. Looks like Swamp's trying to maybe struggle a little bit, maybe drive more defensively here. Steve-O's going to try to... Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say, it looks like Steve-O was trying to over-under him there, but it looks like Swamp protected the bottom.
I was going to say update to Max clinching after tonight. he would only have to finish third now to get those points.
All right, so Max Boost trying to lock himself in. As Joe just said, all you got to do is finish third. As I make note of that, third. And Steve-O looks under Swamp. Looks like Swamp's going to look like borderline let him. Ooh, Swamp in the fence hard. Going to push him down to the apron. Let's see if he can recover here pretty nicely.
Oh, yep, got it. Nothing too bad.
Not too bad. All right, as Jack Boy's going to be on the outside. He actually went into the preferred line. Now let's see if NR Lewis tries to be aggressive here. He's going to fall back in line. So Swamp, Jack Boy side by side for the 4th position. Looks like, oh, NR Lewis is going to get into Jack Boy. That's probably the 5th time tonight they've gotten into each other.
Man, I don't know. If I'm Jack Boy right now, if it's between me and him, maybe I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I've cut you a little bit of slack, but now it's starting to, build up.
Well, we've seen with Penn, a playoff driver, lost his cool, totaled his race car. So, I mean, is that really the route you want to take here? At least one thing, Joe, I'll give you is Lewis is a playoff driver battling with Jack Boy. Penn lost his cool over a guy who's not even in the playoffs. So, as Lights Out's going to make the pass on Jack Boy.
Jack Boy hitting hard into the wall.
Hard. Now, there's nobody really on this bumper after that, so you think you got to ride and assess the damage here.
Oh, yeah. I think he's got a better car than Lewis. Oh, Lewis got a little loose there.
Big Jim stocking Max Boost here.
Big Jim's car starting to come in now, and he is right there.
All right, as they're going to head off into 3. It looks like Big Jim's going to try to get underneath of him. He's got a car there.
Oh, doesn't have to yet, man. Just be a little conservative here.
Max Boost is going to pull him off of 4 there, so they're going to head back off into 1. Max Boost is going to try to hook the bottom here.
Trying to take his line away. He's been running in the middle the last few laps. He came down in front of him that time.
Man, I'm just so impressed. I mean, these
Jim's
guys
have
been... Jim's going to run off the corner here. Jim's going to see how hard he drives it in there. He's going to drive it in there pretty hard. They're going to meet in the middle.
Little contact, nothing bad.
That's short track racing right there, bud. As they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway, drag race into 3. Jim's going to drive it hard in there again. Looks like he's not going to be. Max Boost is getting an insane run off these corners. Boost was clear.
Great racing.
Jim was clear for a scush. Wasn't able to clear me. He should get him here off in the 1. Yes, he will.
Watch for a crossover.
Oh, might get a slight tap from him.
Oh, Boost is going to get back underneath of him. He can't as we're riding on the hood cam. As Big Jim's going to be able to drive that conservative line in the... the defensive line in the 3. Jim's going to drive it off in there. Boost has got to run.
Go underneath them.
Boost has got to run now. They're side by side off in the turn 1.
If I'm Jim, I'm just thinking to myself, make sure I get exit off of him.
Still side by side here. As Jim drives it way in there. Max Boost does a good job giving them the outside. Maybe a little bumper there.
Sit on that corner panel, couldn't do it.
He was hoping he could do it, but it just didn't work out for him. But back to what I was saying, man, I'm really impressed with how these two guys are racing each other. They're not wrecking each other to get them out of the way. Just taking that preferred line and then taking advantage once they figure out where they're struggling at.
And it's been all night.
Oh, Max just pulled away off that corner right there.
Yeah, so that maybe you file that away if you're Big Jim for later. Once you make your move, man, you got to make your move because it seems like once Jim makes that move and kind of burns his stuff up, he's not able to get back to Max immediately. So,
man, if I'm Jim right now, whether or not he finishes this race in first or second, man, great points tonight. Definitely helped his chances of not having to focus on Talladega
absolutely
to advance him. So, just really impressive by both of these guys right now.
It looks like it lights out for the first time all night. He's trying to challenge us. While we were watching the battle for the lead, it looks like Swamp has actually lost the position. No lights out, so he's running 5th now. Yes, lights out's going to make his way up to 3rd. So 3rd is Swamp's going to be able to get underneath Steve-O here.
Underneath Steve-O there. I don't think Steve-O has that long run car that everybody else has. But, hey, a timely caution can help him out here.
All right, it looks like Swamp is going to get past Steve-O for the 4th position. So we have lights out 3rd, Swamp 4th, 5th is Steve-O, and then we got a mile back to, I believe that's Jagboy back there.
I think that damage might have finally caught up to him, man. I just think him maybe smacking that wall, making it a
Lights Out
little
gets in
too
the
tight.
Swamp gets Lights Out and Swamp getting the fence. The Swamp's going to try to make a move on Lights Out. Can't really do it. Swamp being the conservative guy he is.
Max starting to pull away from Big Jim while we're at it.
How many laps to go at the line?
We are at 18 laps to go as well.
18. All right, so we should see a pit stop here soon, guys.
Guys, I wonder if that, when Jim tried to make that move on Max, couldn't get it done, I wonder if he used up a lot of his tires there, because he is losing ground to Max.
I gotta take a potty break while I'm on Swamp, if y'all want to commentate that.
Oh, good. I don't know. I agree with you, Shy. I think maybe he pressed the issue a little bit, thinking that he had to grab the lead there. But again, we're coming up to lap cars up here, so who knows, man?
Yeah, these lap traffic here should close up that gap a little bit. We'll see what the lap traffic does in front of Max Boost, though. We saw at the end of stage 2 that they cost him the stage win there. He couldn't have been too happy about that.
Oh, look, I don't know who's in front of Max Boost right now, but they hit the apron and slid up right in front of him for a second there.
Yes, we are back from a commercial break.
Oh, wow. Got out of his way, so that's good. Didn't cause anything, I don't think, on his car, so. Ballistic riding up high. I think he's going to let... Oh, man, just having two cars battling each other is tough.
They both go high, though. Good job by both of them.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, Ballistic off the wall. He's crushing it.
Oh, he saves it. Big Jim barely misses that one. As we have Penn on pit road.
Man.
Good job by Ballistic.
Oh, yeah, great job to stay out of the way. But, man, just really stinks for Penn. I know he's in the playoffs and everything. And, man, tonight's just I think gonna put him in the hole where he's gonna be below that cutoff line now.
Yeah, especially if we see a penalty from retaliation or whatever it plays out from that situation with the 8 car. Hopefully not. You don't want to see his playoff hopes get hurt like that. Anyways, Max Boost continues the lead as he cleared the lap traffic. It looks like Big Jim has made his way past Irons, I believe. Now he's got the 20 in his...
With 12 laps to go, unless Jim is saving fuel, I don't know if it's going to work. But if that's his plan.
Could be. He could be definitely saving fuel because he is consistently losing ground. That's the first time this has happened all race that he's lost this much ground to Max.
So, Joe, how short do you think they are on fuel and or tires?
Man, I was just looking at Swamp Stream. They're good on fuel. They should be. They're about 2 or 3 laps to good. However, if you're looking at Swamp's right front, it's at 21%. So
yeah.
I don't know how hard Max and Jim ran their tires down, but you got to start thinking to yourself, you got to start saving a little bit.
All right, it's Max Boost now leads by a half a straightaway, so maybe Big Jim is conserving a little bit. Maybe he drove a little too hard. Didn't know if he was going to be able to make it. So we have Big Jim running in second. Lights Out is fourth. I believe fifth is Steve-O, who's got back around Swamp.
Fourth is actually Steve-O. Swamp is now in fifth.
Oh, okay. So Lights Out's third.
Correct.
Awesome. Good job for Lights Out coming his way. Making his way up there. Jagboy riding around that damage, riding in sixth. Seventh, I believe. I have no idea who's seventh. Because we don't have a ticker. Shout out 704 Games.
One of those deals where I think if your Lights Out, hey, look, you did have, your first 2 stages didn't work out for you. That's okay, man. Just come back in the race and finish a decent spot. I think it's going to offset what the stage points he just lost here today.
I agree.
The tire light is on Swamp Fox's car. It's going to be interesting.
How many to go?
Oh, I think they're about 8. I think 8 laps to go.
It's going to be close, guys.
It's going to be close.
It's been on for 2 or 3 laps, too, so it's... Whoo, man.
All right, as Max
6 laps to go.
Lead. 6 of the line.
Has such a big gap, though. He has the room to save his tire.
Well, Max, he probably conserved.
Might have been saving the whole time. Max is at 5 laps to go, by the way.
So
So
fourth
next time he
line.
passes, it'll be 4 to go. Yep.
All right, thank you, Joe. Fourth to line for Max Boost. As Big Jim still riding in the second position, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Second place.
Still a good night for Big Jim as he won the pole. Won a stage, finished second in the stage, so you can't really hang your head too much. I know it's a home racetrack, you probably won to win, but for putting up a fight against the best guy in the series, it's pretty good. It looks like, now remember guys, this is 2 or 3.
Should be 3 to go.
All right, now remember guys, Max Boost needed third to clinch as he is well on his way to that. So we have 2 to go at the line next time by.
Hey, I mean, just I know we always talk about measuring yourself against Max Boost, but I mean, what a run he's been having all season, man. He's I think this is 15th race in the series, and just came out guns blazing, man. I think if I'm not mistaken, this will be his 9th win if everything stays the same, man. Just putting on a show, man. Just great consistency from him,
For
man.
sure, and rumor has it he might be able to attempt, as we have 2 to go at the line, as he might make the attempt to run the full-time Cup schedule. That is 2 to go, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Might attempt to make the full Cup schedule. Ballista gets out the way there into the fence, as we are going to come out of 3 and 4 and get 1 to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Max Boost.
Oh, they got moved.
Trying to.
No, I'm sorry. This is the finish right here.
All
This is
right,
the
Max
second flag,
Boost.
yeah.
This is
Yep.
it. Max Boost wins.
Wow.
And Big
Hey,
Jim.
just-
record. That's after the line.
That's at the line. Just a great
Big
finish,
Jim
man.
second. I believe that's going to put Lights Out third. Steve-O in fourth. And fifth, I'm assuming goes to Swamp.
Second was Big Jim, third Steve-O, fourth Lights Out, fifth Jag Boy, sixth Swamp.
Oh, Swamp.
Man.
Sick.
Just hey, if I'm in that top 6 right now, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I didn't win, but it's great.
All right, as I try to get our winner in here, Max Boost. As our
There he is.
winner has now joined the party, Max Boost, congratulations, buddy. Great win. And, hey, man, it looked like you and Jim had a great battle all night long, man. What can you tell us?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Big Jim is an epic racer through and through, man. I didn't think I had anything for him. He was so fast. But, dude, I didn't practice for this race. I did not touch the game for like a week. I had another league race last night. So I was just hoping for a top 5, to be honest. But I was just able to watch Big Jim. I got behind him for a while, I think, in stage 1. And I followed his line and learned off of him, and then kind of used what I learned for the final stages, and was able to pull off the win, thankfully. And you know what? Just shout out to Big Jim for his excellent racing, and shout out to J-Mons on his second place start too. The racing didn't go so well for him. That's a shame, but I mean, we'll go get him next week, So.
I hear you, man. Joe, we got Joe in the booth with me. Joe, you got anything to add?
Yeah, man. First off, congrats. You already clinched your spot in the next round. Didn't even need to win, but hey, put on a show for everybody. So what are you thinking when those lap cars or that back traffic or whatever? When they're stalling you a little bit, you just see Jim coming right at you. I mean, what's going on in your mind right there, man?
Oh man, at the end of stage 2, there was a wreck. Something happened, and there was like 3 cars in front of me, and I didn't want to wreck, so I slowed up, and then that let Big Jim bump me out of the way and take the stage win for stage 2. So I mean, when it was happening in stage 3, I was like, uh-oh, it's gonna get exciting real fast. But everybody was really respectful. At least lap time cars were, so it wasn't as bad in that final stage, man. So it was pretty fun though.
Hey, well, before I pass it to Shadow, just again, congrats on your win, and obviously advancing to the next round, and we enjoy watching you, man. You can take the Shadow.
Yeah, man. Max Boost, congrats on another win tonight. It's always fun watching you out there, and good battle with Big Jim all night. But yeah, you pulled away from him, big gap those last 15, 20 laps there. I guess my question would be, what was your situation on fuel and tire? Were you saving any tire? Were you good on fuel? What was the situation there?
Yeah, it seemed like fuel wasn't really going to be an issue. So I just maintained tire because I didn't know if they would make it the final run because it was like a 48 lap sprint or something like that. So I kind of saved tires in the middle of the run, and that allowed Big Jim to kind of pass me. And I let him pass me, and then I was like, okay, let me see what this car can do if we were battling it out. And I was able to run side by side with him for a couple laps, and then I don't know if he overheated his tires doing that, but I was able to pull away pretty decent towards the end. So it was just maintaining, I don't know, driver smart race. I did not expect to win this, so I mean, I'm so grateful, absolutely so grateful.
Awesome, man. You did a great job tonight. It was fun watching you too, and great win again.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Max. As Joe mentioned earlier, you are locked into the next round, so congratulations to that. Also, congratulations on your win. I believe that's number 9 on the year, so congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate you guys.
Let's see if I can get Big Jim in here. Oh no. As we wait for Big Jim's arrival.
There he is.
And there he is, Big Jim, man. Hell of a run tonight, man. I'm super impressed, man. You did great all night. Held your own with the best in the series to the season at this point. Congratulations on your second place run, man. What can you tell us?
First of all, I appreciate it. The car was on rails all night. It felt really, really good. It's just to catch boost, you gotta be on rails and have an afterburner. It's the only way to catch him, man. Dude's on fire every single week. And I mean, Richmond, I'm not gonna lie, there were times where he was a bit shaky. He missed his corners a couple times, and I'm sure you guys saw me shove him in turn 3. Hopefully no penalties come out of that one. But yeah, it was fun racing with him. He definitely deserved the win.
Yeah, man, I don't think that was hard racing there for a stage win. Y'all put on a hell of a show there at the end of, I believe it was stage 2. All right, as I got Joe with me tonight. Joe, what you got to add?
First off, man, hey, look, no, you didn't win, but you got a stage win out of it. Great points race for you today. In stage 3, I mean, I know Max started to pull away a little bit from you. I mean, in your mind, were you thinking like, you had to push the issue, or you were just kind of being conservative there at the end?
Well, one thing about the you could go 50 laps on gas, but your tire situation was pretty screwed if you were trying to make it 50 laps. Somehow we all did, but I had to back off a ton. I had to go down to like 23-second laps trying to not blow the right rear. So that's kind of why Max started just creeping away. He must have been saving from the beginning of the stage because he was still moving at a good pace, even on the closing laps.
I got you. And before I pass it off to Shadow, how did catching Max there at the end of that stage? How did that feel?
It felt good. It looked like he was braking for something, like maybe to let Jamon some from. I don't know what that was all about, but like I caught up to him, I had to run out of turn 2, went to his inside. He gave me a bit of a block, and I was like, I mean, once you block me, I kind of have the way to give a little bump there. He's won so many stages, I'm sure he doesn't mind.
I got you. Well, I'll let Shadow ask the next question, but congrats again, man, on your second place finish.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Jim. Good run tonight. A lot of positives, I'd say, out of tonight's race. Just my main question would be, Good points night for you. What's your mindset going into Talladega?
Talladega, it's to stay with those FBGM guys. I gotta stay in a pack, hopefully with them, and work our way up there. I don't know where I am in points, but I feel okay at Bristol. Talladega's, I feel like I kind of negated the whole, what's the word I'm trying to say here? The whole wild card feel of Talladega with a good run at Richmond today. So, I mean, it'll probably come down to Bristol, but I feel pretty confident there.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you at Dega, and nice run tonight.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, Big Jim, to answer your question, I think you're pretty good on points. You scored 10 stage points and finished second in the race, so you did a pretty good job there. Congratulations on your second place run, man. Good luck at Talladega, where anything can happen.
And I know it's a long lost fact, but congrats on your pole, by the way, as well.
Oh, yes, sir. Also, yeah. So, yeah, it's 10 stage points, 2 points for this. Yeah, man, you had a great points night.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
Congratulations, buddy. All right, man. If y'all enjoyed that broadcast, tune in tomorrow as the Cup Series has their first playoff race and tackles Richmond International Raceway. The Xfinity Series will take on Dega Sunday night. Tune in. Eventually be back on with the broadcast. All right, man. Anything y'all want to add before we get off here?
Tune in to Talladega. It's going to be nuts.
Yep. Sunday night. All eyes.
All righty then.